So, it all started when I was just a little noob, little baby noob. I would keep on fishing here at Moosewood until I was around level 15. And I didn't know much about the game, actually. I was just here to play, try out the game. I didn't really know anything. Just a little innocent boy trying to play a fishing game. I didn't know the mechanics too much, but I just knew that I would have to fish. So I kept on fishing, sold fish for money, and eventually I found out about the surfboard. During this time, I was still a low level, barely grasping the ability to play fish. I talked to Peter, whatever his name was, and I found out about the shipwright. I later bought the surfboard, and I headed on my way to another island. What was that island's name? This is Roselet Bay, the island I found out about once I was around level 17. And I made my way on my little small surfboard.
Wow.
So, as I roamed about this island, I started to explore it. There really wasn't anything much about this simple island other than the Roselet Pond and its bay. And the first area that I found was actually the pond.
Wow.
I started fishing here and made some good money off the arapaima. But one day, I caught an axolotl. This was actually one of my first legendaries, and after catching something of a kind of high rarity, really inspired me to keep on playing this game. Well, later on, after a bit of fishing at this Roselet Pond, I got bored, as any other fisher would be, for fishing in the exact same spot for the past few hours. So, after catching some fish at this pond, I started to explore the island, and after exploring, I obviously found the nurse shark spot. What is the nurse shark spot, you ask? Well, the nurse shark spot is actually in this area of the bay. A very small portion of a rectangular area in this bay has an abundance of nurse shark. And as well as a little bonus of the mythical manta ray. Obviously, it took me a while to catch the manta ray, as I only had the training rod for a while. I fished here day and night for the entire time that I was on this game. Every single day, every single night. I was just fishing here, waiting for a nurse shark to catch on my hook. Obviously, it did, because the nurse sharks here are quite common, and I made a decent amount of money from selling them. But obviously, I was still having fun in the game, as I was still new, and everything was, cool to me, as I've never seen anything like it before. This was quite fun to me.
Yeah!
But, as any ordinary fish player, I decided to explore the island a little bit more. And what did I discover? I discovered the rod shop in the Roselet Bays area. This was the shop of Alfie,
Wow.
where 3 rods lie here. One was a steady rod for 7,000. One was 14,000, which was the rapid rod. And another one that I haven't noticed in a long time, the fortune rod. Now, I was obviously captured by the steady rod stats.
Wow.
The high resilience. But the only thing that did not appeal to me was the lure speed, and obviously the luck.
Yeah!
But this was a great start. This was the new rod that I wanted to invest my time in and my money. I needed the steady rod. So, off I went, back to the Roselet Bay to catch bull sharks, Dumbo octopuses, even crown basses, and sometimes even the elusive manta ray. Later on, once I reached a higher level, on around level 35, I bought the steady rod with the money that I've accumulated over the time of fishing. And I've been catching manta rays way easier while using the shrimp bait. I kept on fishing and I kept on fishing until I saved up a total of $100,000 to finally get the mythic rod. I later found out that it was $110,000 and had to grind a bit more again, but that's okay, we don't talk about that. So, as I waited for a traveling merchant to spawn somewhere, I just kept on fishing at the Roselet Bay to save a little bit more money for the new rods that I had to buy ahead. I caught so many new fish during this time, and even my friend gave me some enchant relics later on so I could enchant my mythical rod. That was a great help because I had no idea how to catch enchant relics, so thank you to my friend, Black. So then, I started my journey to find the traveling merchant to finally buy the mythical rod. And off I went on my journey to find the traveling merchant at any random island. At first I was confused. I wondered, which island will this ever spawn at? Until I realized that it'll just tell you which island it spawned at, and yeah. Obviously, it isn't that easy to find, so it took me maybe around a few hours of waiting just to find a traveling merchant that even sold the mythical rod. And I kept on searching and searching for the traveling merchant until I finally found it at Terrapin. I came in with my small little surfboard, and with my $110,000, I bought the mythic rod.
Yeah!
Pretend that that's the mythic rod. Please. Please. And so, with my new money-making rod, I returned to the Roselet Bay, my home fishing spot, and I went to go catch my first ever mythical manta ray. And there I was, again, back at Roselet Bay, fishing like a no-life. Obviously, it was still pretty fun to me, as during that time, I caught, like, a few mythical manta rays, and they sold for about $11,000,
Yeah!
which genuinely shocked me, and I started freaking out. And when I look back at it now, that wasn't even that much, but for me it was, because, I was still a low level. And so I kept on fishing at the nurse shark spot, catching countless mythical clownfishes, selling for over $30,000 per hour. And I was proud of myself during that time. But then my friend informed me of the 2 new rods that I had to get. I didn't even know these rods existed. First was the Aurora rod, which you could only get during an Aurora Borealis, which was an extremely rare event. Or you could get it from popping a $500,000 Aurora totem, which I was not going to do. So I saved that for later. And by later, I mean when I was like level 500. But anyways, the main rod that I was going to get was the Trident rod. I heard that it was really good, and the passive gave you progress on the fish. And I needed that for the next upcoming update. So, I grinded and grinded and grinded for hours until I was able to get my hands on 4 enchant relics and $150,000. With my newly found $150,000 and my 4 enchant relics, I went on my journey to find the Desolate Deep Island. Or not really island, it's kind of like an underground thing, I don't know. I finally found the Desolate Deep Pocket, and off I went, jumping into the waters, going all the way down. I went down and down and down into the desolate deep pocket, watching out for all the sea mines. And then I finally arrived at the desolate deep pocket. Here I was, finally arriving at the desolate deep pocket. It was my first time here, and I really think that this area was cool. It was so beautiful here with all the coral and all of the garments on the roof that kind of looked like eyes. I really enjoyed it, and I started to explore around. I opened the trial chambers. I entered through the door, and there I found the glorious trident rod. There it was, in all of its glory. I bought it, and I equipped it, and I admired the cool effects that were on the rod. After I reached about level 100 and had my trident rod ready, I enchanted it with Klev to give me 2 times XP. And I just sat here at the Forsaken Pond, just fishing for Captain's goldfish. So, Captain's goldfish are goldfish. They're tiny, but they give a whole lot of XP. So think this. No 2 times XP game pass and no Klev. These little guys already give you a total of 2,800 XP. With 2 times XP, the game pass, it'll give you 5,600. And with the Klev enchant, that's 4 times XP, giving you around 12,000. No, I'm stupid. Like 11,000 to 12,000 XP, somewhere around there.
Yeah!
So I spent day and night fishing here while talking to my friends, since everything was kind of boring. I was just sitting on my gaming chair, fishing here for hours. Until I hit level 170. This is where everything changed. I gained access to a gaming PC. This meant that every single night I could turn on my PC and activate a macro. A macro is something that, how do I say this? It's basically a robot that plays the game for you while you sleep or do other activities. This was a total revelation to me, and I was so happy that I did not have to waste my entire life going from level 170 to 750.
Yeah!
After I found out, I set it up on the computer, and every single night, and I mean that, I would turn on the macro and grind. But something happened.
Huh?
I had to go on a week's trip to a little island. A little small island. And I was gone for a week. I was not able to macro for a whole week. I usually sleep around 8 hours. And this means I could have for 7 whole days. In those days, every 8 hours, I could have just gotten so many XP's worth of fish. But I came back from my trip, and I went back to macroing.
Yeah!
Obviously, once I reached level 500, I got the no life rod. And at the time, before the nerf, it was really good. The almost instant catch speed, in the high luck, and the insanely high control. This was, and the trident passive too. I even forgot about that. It was crazy for me, and with that, my journey to level 500 was complete. I was able to get the no life rod. But this wasn't enough because after the Ancient Isles update, a big thing happened. The level cap went to 750. Oh, but that's simple. You grinded 500 levels in a matter of weeks. What's stopping you from getting from getting 250 levels? The thing is, every time you level up, it increases the amount of XP needed for you to level up again.
Yeah.
What used to be 8 hours worth of Captain's Goldfish at the Forsaken Pond to get me 200 levels turned into a measly 20. So I had to up my game. So first off, I got clever on my no life rod, which greatly increased my progress. And second off, I had a friend who was crazy rich, had maybe 35 Aurora totems.
Wow.
And over in one night at Forsaken Pond, with those 35 Auroras, I managed to get 100 levels worth. So I jumped from 550 all the way to 650. And I did that again and again and again until, well, I reached around 717, which was the level I was in the intro. And then I just decided, well, I can just take it slow from here now, and I can just fish for the Captain's Goldfish. That's when I woke up to getting level 748 actually, and got, well, low 750. And obviously, previously before, I have been able to catch over, 24,000 total fish during my journey. And I'm really proud of that.
Yeah.
Thank you to all of my friends for helping me out during this journey. Like Combat, Klev or Chicken, Angsy or his name Yo, and especially my friend Black who helped me out with the Auroras. I really appreciate all of your help. And let's get to showcasing the Forgotten Fang Rod. Now we're on to the Rod of the Forgotten Fang showcase. And just for you guys to take a little peek, this thing looks absolutely sick. Like, you can see the jaw of the Meg, the teeth on the rod is perfect, and the aura looks so cool. I'm so glad that I actually got this rod. But let's get to showcasing it. So obviously I have quality on this rod, since it is like one of the better enchants for this rod. The other one is Abyssal if you really want it for like a money making thing, but I'm just here for just the rod. Let's get something like a worm to help insta catch, and it says that in 3 perfect catches you're gonna activate this mode that'll, I guess, make a megalodon come out of the water and give you like a higher tier fish and give like a 10% to 20% size boost. Now I don't know if this applies because I've seen a lot of YouTubers and people posting about how it glitches and it doesn't really give you the size boost, and it usually just gives you the same rarity is what I've heard. But maybe they fixed it, since I am making this video like a super long time after the release, since I got a bit lazy with recording and I just been wanting to play a bit. So I think I missed the second perfect catch, so let me just do it again. Oh, there it is! There it is! Oh, that's sick! Whoa, that actually jump scared me, but that is real cool. So we got a fish barrel. Yeah, it's the exact same size, I believe. I don't know, but it is the exact same size. I guess, and the exact same rarity. I mean, all in all, I mean, if you catch like a cool mythic, or like let's say you catch an exotic, during like the Megalodon mode, I guess you could get like a duplicate, but either way, these stats are pretty cracked out, as you can see. The Northern Expedition update did come out before this, so I have a way better rod, which is the Heaven's Rod. But it's cool. It's real cool that I actually got this Forgotten Fang rod. Now that I have it, there's only one more thing to do.
Huh?
He's about to be so mad. Yo, hello?
Hello?
Yeah, I need to show you something.
What is it? What is it, man? Like, you call me this early? Like, come on, man. Dude. Bro, what the fuck, bro? No, fuck you, bro. Go already, bro.
風のところただしこれが最後だ